everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I beat him to tonight. That's the first one of 2025. I got it in there.
Oh, man.
It's
Caught
American
me
tradition,
lacking, as the kids say.
Yes, that's right. We are back, and we're gonna get some Clandestiny tonight. I can't wait. It's I got Jesse next to me, and for those who don't know, I'm Indy. For the people on the podcast that aren't seeing the visuals, and yeah, it's visuals. It's
sorry.
It is now 2025. It's the middle of PSYOP season. It's a
Despite
PSYOP.
our best efforts to stop it, it's here.
It happened.
They just keep happening.
We couldn't do anything there. And guess who's got some stuff he wants to play. So
It's true.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to, I know that very soon, and I don't know exactly how soon, but very soon there's supposed to be a new album coming, recording, published, something in some form, way, shape, or whatever. And
You're not wrong.
so we're gonna get a little sneak preview tonight. Now, I was gonna tell you before the show, but I forgot. I think most of the lyrics from what you've already sent me in our folder, so I can put those up in a lot of cases if you want me to or not. I mean, however you want to do this. We're kind of producing on the fly here.
Yeah, I didn't think to check what you already have. I did not even think about that, because you might.
But I have most of it.
I will take a peek in the old drive and see what you've got.
Yeah. So, it's been like, what, two weeks or 3 weeks since our last show?
Three.
Yep. It's been 3 weeks since our last confession. And and
oh, that's great.
Not much has happened in the world, of course. Everything's just fine. And peace and harmony worldwide. And no world leaders are resigning, and bombs aren't dropping, drones aren't flying, and it's all good, folks. It's all good. Hey, we got a new slider bar at the top. We got Zago paid off. So we got that. Thank you to Vicky and to everyone. Oh, Luigi did. It's a PSYOP. There we go. Thank you, Luigi. Wherever you are. And I know that the guy who's in Rikers right now, or wherever he is, with Mark Zuckerberg's buddy, or Zuckerberg's lawyer, somebody's lawyer, Diddy's lawyer, right? Oh, it's been a fun couple of weeks. We are back with How Do We Miss That? We did boats. We got a new channel. We got the Ocho. So everybody subscribe to the Ocho. I think everyone here already has. Thank you for everyone that has already. But we really think it's going to help the news content get more visibility, and the gaming and sports content too, giving it its own channel and its own kind of presence. Because when it's branded as news content, it's harder for people to find wrestling content, on a news channel. So
this is true.
Yeah. But tonight we're gonna play some songs, and I can't wait, because I've been kind of trying to piece these together. I've had some queued up and ready to go, but I am under strict orders to not play the versions that are recorded on the show during the lives in the clip shows until the album's out. So I have the privilege, because I have all the stuff myself, of listening to some of them, but I try not to. I try to want to listen to whatever version you're going to put on the album clean. And I'm kind of curious to see where you're at here, where you plan on making stops.
Yeah. Me too.
For those who haven't already kind of heard about what the album is called, what it's going to be, and why, maybe explain that first.
Yeah.
And then,
so, it was a concept that once I had it like I couldn't do anything else. I had to do that. And in a lot of ways, I'm kicking myself for that, because it's snowballed into something that I want to do justice to, but I also can't approach as freewheeling as I usually do. So this is much more methodical of a recording process than I expected it to be, but it's also not something I want to rush because I want to make sure that it's like I have plenty of time. This, more than any other album, would be the one that I would get it out and then a month later be like, shit, I could have transitioned this to this or had a little this bleed over. Like, I have so many notes and diagrams for ideas and through lines and threads and stuff that it's like the It's Always Sunny when Charlie has the Pepe Sylvia board behind him. Like, I've got my red threads connecting shit. It's very much that kind of storyboarding. So yeah, definitely like something I would rather it be my longest gap between records rather than put it out and have shit I want to do after the fact, because it would haunt me. But yeah, everything is written. I'm still recording samples and just amassing this giant sample bank of things to use to connect and thread pieces. Because every now and then still, I'll think I have enough, and then I hear something. I'm like, oh shit, I have to record that. I have to use that. And there's so many little things that it's such a... it's going to be very lore rich in a lot of ways that I'm super excited about. And honestly, I told myself I was done, but then I was like, shit, I think I wrote something last week that will probably need to go on here. So another reason I'm taking my time, but it will essentially be a concept album that is, you flipping stations on like a cross-country road trip, stations coming and going, songs that you maybe just get the last half of, or songs that you only get the first little bit of, and then you lose the station. You get a part of an ad, you get a part of a political campaign thing, and then it's on to the next thing. So that I could jump around genres as much as I want to. I can do skits and bits and fake drugs and Cy Oppenheimer and JJ Bibbs barbecue sauce and just whatever I want to do. I can do here. So again, I don't want to have that kind of a sandbox because it's not something I plan on affording myself very often. So I want to take my time. I want to really get to, make some biscuits in this. So, yeah, at this point, I do feel like everything is written. I know I've said that before, but then it added shit, but like we're at a really good amount of meat, and now it's just arranging potatoes, and then we're good. So yeah, it will be Clandestine Radio, and it will be out as soon as it can be.
I remember like the Eagles. I watched a documentary, and they talk about making The Long Run, and the album The Long Run, and how it took almost 2 years, and that was the only thing that they could name it was The Long Run, because not just the song, but how long it took to make the album, and it was a painful process. They all talk about, and it came out incredible, but it was one of those difficult albums to birth, and it then, I believe, led to the band basically breaking up on the tour for The Long Run in the end.
I can see that's part of, I'll write a lot in a big cluster, and then when it's time to switch my brain to a type of like consistent productivity that recording entails, sometimes I'm just not where my brain is, and especially with everything going on in the world, like there's sometimes I'm like, gosh, I'm kind of surprised I can even still write about it and keep myself together. And lately it's just I needed to take a little bit of a step back, and it's nice, and it's hard when you pop back, and it's like take a peek into Twitter, and of course there's nothing, nothing has changed. If anything, it's just a little a few little glimpses, like, oh god, what's happening? Wait, Rokana did what? Oh no. And then I just close it. I don't want to come back to this
positivity. So toxic positivity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
practice apparently on the show. What do we
You
do?
know, and it was weird to hear about something like the
Why does that happen?
the New Orleans Fed attack, and hear about it on the news first, and then go, well, I'm sure I'll find out exactly how government connected this is next time I hop on Twitter. And I did, and of course, but it was the first time in a long time that there was something like that I heard about from like a traditional media source first, you know, or like there was something that happened the other day. Someone asked me at work today. They're like, "So what do you think about Trudeau resigning?" I was like, "Oh, did he resign? Oh, wow. I wish Assad could have seen it." That's all I had to say. I wish Assad could have seen it while he was still in office.
Dude, that's a phenomenal response. I love that so much. I love it. That's so good.
But like, you know, I'm trying to just muster myself back to neutral to do this record. And if I have a little bit of time that I'm not working and stressing, I'm playing Dark Souls courtesy of Charlie Mack. So that's been my rock and my my mentor, my harsh taskmaster mentor has been Dark Souls. But forging myself in the flames of that game, and yeah, and just trying to it's a little double-edged of a mental health break to start getting into Dark Souls, but that's what I did, and it's working. So, well,
we have a new channel to play Dark Souls on called The Ocho, if you haven't heard. YouTube.com/@INN8TheOcho, and we also have a Rumble channel for that as well. Steve, that's what we all see when we open up our feed. Wait, I see it there. Where is it? Did it get filtered out somewhere? He says I see dead babies, but I don't see that quote here. What the what? Okay, something is really strange. This thing filtered out your quote. Holy crap. I see it here in Restream, Steve, but I don't see it in my chat app. I was going to put that up here.
Really?
Sorry. Yes, weird. I must have missed that one. Huh, interesting you missed that one. All right, well, let's see. What do we have in the folder? AT.
I don't know if I sent... No, I didn't do that one. Let's do Humanization Attempts. That's a fun one. If anything, it's too short, but it's one I did a good job of. Like, I have a hard time cutting myself off in general when I'm writing something, but especially for this, I wanted to have something that was short enough that I could, like, cut into an ad or cut into something else. I don't want every piece to be full length. Otherwise it loses the feel of, like, you're losing stations or you're, jumping around. So I cut myself off way shorter than I wanted to for this concept. But I was proud of myself. So this is Humanization Attempts.
All right. Lyrics up. Boom. Let's do it.
Tony pulls the skin back from his loose and sagging cheeks to stretch it firmly taut, lest it start drooping while he speaks. He pulls his jacket tight across his cold, unmoving chest, and Secretary Blinken is prepared to meet the press. And just like every other day, he'll read a sterile script. He'll praise the press and never let Assange escape his lips. America confessed Assange would not escape its grip or the assurances of serpents who've envenomed every surface with the poison of their purpose till it positively drips. the very poison you've spent every waking moment drinking, the same inhuman fuel that keeps the secretary blinking. He looks right through the camera, and you cannot help but thinking that his pupils seem to fill his eyes. The whites are slowly shrinking until solid black and dull-like they stare out into space. Horrible and godlike, inhuman leers the face. He smiles like he's never seen a smile in all his days, and says, I like to play guitar when I'm not sowing massive graves. He leaves the network talking heads agape with bated breath. He's so relatable and human for a minister of death. But as they keep exhuming any human trait that's left, they quickly scrape its depth. As shallow as the West itself, and deaf to those who've wept. As silent as the West itself when all the camps are swept. And yes, the current camps are far from where your needs are kept, but they're coming soon to a town near you, and you've watched them as they've crept inches closer each election, every changing of the guard who is posted at a cell, which is exactly where we are, and no matter who is guarding us, they only wish us harm. They will never grant you freedom. They will not return your arms. So study Stockholm's scent till you can catch it on the wind. The pitiful attempts of those with such convincing skin to humanize themselves that you might start to let them in, to think they're just like you, or even worse, that you're like them. That's Humanization Attempts.
Now, the plan for that one, I'm guessing, is to leave it as a spoken word and not actually make it a song. I can't exactly see putting a melody behind that one.
What I want to have is have this kind of continue off of the black site idea, and have there will be distinct pieces that have no accompaniment, that is just me with a very specific mic tone that is kind of, if all of a sudden amongst your radio channels you pick up a transmission from out of a black site or something you're not meant to hear, and it's someone just trying to be heard or trying to get a message out, those will be those kind of pieces. So I wanted those pieces to be short little dispatches, little like someone, you bribe someone to give you 5 minutes with the radio setup or something, one of the guards,
Like a cry for
and
help.
that will be one of those pieces. So they'll kind of be their own little islands amongst just normal, normal songs. And I'll try my best to have some of my other songs feel like they're just part of the radio, in some alternate universe where I get airplay. So.
Well, usually you want to get to the songs earlier because then your voice starts to go. So if there's any music that we're gonna do,
let's yeah, that's a good. Let's do a little airplane mode.
Cool. I gotta set that up because I'm gonna go to Bandcamp. JesseJett.bandcamp.com is where everyone needs to go and download yourself some free music, or you can actually pay. He does accept cash for this stuff, and it helps certainly to contribute to independent art and independent music. So if you are of means and able to, by all means, contribute to and buy a song, buy an album. It's pay what you can. If you can pay zero, you can pay zero, but try to pay a little more than zero if you can. That's what it's, pay what you can. So as he's tuning up, I've got the words for airplane mode, which, by the way, if you want to listen to the original airplane mode, which has never made it on an album, airplane mode is available on Bandcamp right now for download with musical accompaniments. So it'll be cool to hear like a portion of that, I'm guessing, and then you'll cut to another station. I'm assuming you're not going to get the full. We're not going to get the full airplane mode. Because
What I kind of want to do is record airplane mode new from the ground up, like a bizarrely polished version, and have that be one of the, like, you all of a sudden hit a station and it's like, all right, here's Jesse Jett with airplane mode, and the song starts and it's just nice and clean, and like alternate universe where I have a radio song that sounds nice and presentable, right? And then that's just the one moment like that in the rest of the shit, you know.
It's a song I can play around my wife and kids, I'll tell you that. And there aren't many, but that's one that I can.
Yep. I remember someone once in chat being like, of course that's the song you've been holding out, that you like, the most approachable song you have, right? And that's the one that's not on a record. It makes it more of a treat, you know. It's special. Yeah. So you got lyrics? I'm
ready. We're all set.
Hot dog. Here's the current top 40 smash hit, Airplane Mode.
She said I can't turn my phone off, or the world stops and it's all my fault. And I don't go in airplane mode, cause they know when the flight takes off. And I thought I was born for the storm, but tonight I wish the rain would stop. I wish the rain would stop. She said it feels like another day, but I can't say, cause I can't stay long. I'm not here, but I'm not gone. She said it feels like another day, but I can't say, cause I can't stay long. I'm not here, but I'm not gone. Oh, not here, but I'm not gone. I know I'm right, so I won't waste time to deny my doubts. And I just wanna know what's on your mind, but the Wi-Fi's out. And I thought I was born for the storm, but I just need a break in the clouds. Just a break in the clouds. She said it feels like another day, but I can't say, cause I can't stay long. I'm not here, but I'm not gone. She said it feels like another day, but I can't say, cause I can't stay long. I'm not here, but I'm not gone. Not here, but I'm not gone. I think I'm the same as what I create. I gave it my name to speak for me. When it wanted a face, I showed it my face, as good as my face could look for me. I filter every smile, and I edit every day. I just cut and I paste. She said it feels like another day, but I can't say, cause I can't stay long. I'm not here, but I'm not gone. She said it feels like another day, but I can't say, cause I can't stay long. I'm not here, but I'm not gone. Oh, I'm not here, but I'm not gone. Oh, but I'm not gone. Oh, not here, but I'm not gone.
And that is airplane mode.
And that is airplane mode. Honestly, it's beautiful. It came out a little scratchy. I don't know if you're too close to the mic, like with your, if you're talking into one and playing into another. The guitar sounded pretty clean. The mic sounded very scratchy, like when you were singing too loud into it or too close to it.
Interesting.
I don't know, but yes, it still sounded great. I mean, but yes, it was a little on the scratchy side. I don't know why.
Cut my gain down a little.
Hopefully that won't mess us up totally for the next one, but we're gonna keep.
I'm curious. Are you right now? Do you have any background noise from me?
I do. I hear a little bit. It almost sounds like a washing machine or some kind of a mechanical something in the background.
There is, since our last stream, a rock tumbler in the home, and it is farther away than it sounds. But
there you go, Charlie. It sounded radio-ish. I love it. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Look at that. I didn't even change
it's that authentic radio filter that we're going for. I'm going to scoot the mic back a bit.
Right. It's got some scratching. It had a little that little scratch. But yeah, I did say I heard a little bit of hiss like originally, so that does kind of track with a treble mic, you know, with a
yeah.
Yeah, it was only like when you were really going and singing hard that it tended to do that, but John Miller, you're the best. Thank you, love you. So glad we're here. We're all here and you're here. Check my audio settings. I did, and it sounds good there. No? That's clean as hell. That's clean.
Well, my granddad was a mighty long ago in Butte, who spent his whole life scraping by, who never left his boots, till someone bought his bosses out and he'd outlived his use. They let him go, they trimmed the wage, they hired someone new, and he learned that that's what job creators do. Now walking through the heart of town, I see my daddy's shop that he shut down when the superstore got put him down the block. And he didn't have a lot of choice to work there all the same, for half of what he made when he had something to his name. He told me that's the way it is, that's business through and through, and he told me that's what job creators do. Watched a lot of poverty start blooming in this town, and I seen too many families out sleeping on the ground. When I offered help, I got harassed by Sheriff Brown. He grit that kind of grin that said, I love to put you down, but if I owned a mine and I enslaved them for a crew, I bet he'd call me a job creator too. Mouths are hungry for your bread. They'll say that to succeed you need to step on people's heads. The those suckers might be starving, but it's better them than you. They'll tell you that's what job creators do. Yeah, they'll tell you that's what job creators do. And that is Outsource.
That is Outsource. Of course it is. Job creators. We don't have many job creators around here. We need more job creators, unfortunately, because people need to work and they need money. And it would be a whole lot nicer if somebody just fell into a pile of money and decided to hire all of us to do what we do now. That would be very cool. Maybe someday.
Oh,
but
can you imagine?
Yes, living the dream. I mean, look, I'm trying to do something here, but it's to be able to have the income to actually sustain that and do that would be wonderful. That would be good. Yes, Sean, I didn't want to necessarily put that up there, but yeah, much love and healing your way for sure. Yeah, 3rd round of chemo.
Damn, dude.
Yep. And in 1 week, hope to hear the words he wanted. 10 years remission. Yep. Let's we're all pulling for that for sure.
Absolutely, man. We love you.
Love you, man. Yeah. So that is, we got Humanization Attempts out. We got some job creators with Outsource, and then we're gonna turn the dial and we're gonna get. And I don't know what's next, and I guess that's what you're still figuring out. But
I was making sure all my audio settings were still what they should be on here.
Yeah, probably still a little on the loud side. I don't know necessarily what to do with the mic at this point. Cut the old
gain down a little bit more.
Yeah, we can try. I don't know if that's really what's causing the thing, but we could try. So we've got. Oh, that's one I don't think I even put up.
Qua.
I sent you a list of earlier all the pieces, and Ringlet you played last Valentine's Day, but
you mean Minx? Ringlet was a poem. Ringlet won't be on, but Minx probably will.
Oh, okay, Minx probably will. Okay, well, Minx is awesome. Sure, we can
let's
do
do
that.
that.
Okay. We're down. I'm down for that. Anytime. Let's do it.
See. Oh, that's been a hot second.
Oh, you're not allowed to forget this one.
Oh, you would say that, wouldn't you? There we go. There it is.
I love for the 400th time. I'll be with you as long as I live. Know that I'll take your breath if you just take my hand. I give all that's in me to give. Won't you hear what I say? I would take you away on your whim. Oh, darling, I think I choked on your waterfall. When laying my hands on you, I had a dream of a cannonball, and the splinters all entered this room. And when the cross came suddenly, everything in front of me split into two. And now I dream of the waterfall that your hand might pull me through. my love for the 400th time. I'll be with you as long as I live. Honey, I'll take your breath if you'll just take my hand and give all that's in me to give. Won't you hear what I say? I would take you away on your whim. My darling, I think I choked on your waterfall. When laying my hands on you, I had a dream of a cannonball. And the splinters all littered this room. And when the crash came suddenly, everything in front of me split into two. And now I dream of the waterfall that your hand might pull me through. And that is Minx.
That is Minx. I fucking love that tune. Yeah, so you played that last Valentine's Day. I had never heard it before. And that has been one of the frequent songs, so I've been cheating a little, because I've definitely put that on Clip Show. That's another one of those kind of consumable, everybody kind of normie type of songs that everyone can get down with. Gotta say, shout out over on Rumble. Thank you so much, Virtuoso, $5 donate for a tip over there.
Thank you.
Tip jar for really good tune. Thanks, Jesse. Virtuoso. And then we got Greg Dub, who said Rumble didn't give him ads, so he didn't get to see the flashlight that gets to penetrate lead. And he said he'd love to see the banjo tar if possible, or are we not doing that? Well, okay. And then Greg also wanted to hear either Radigan or Etna Demigod. I'm like, maybe next time we're doing stuff from the new album that you haven't even heard yet. But Jesse has been known to just stop and do whatever too, so you never know.
That's true. We might have to Radigan. That does sound fun.
I actually opened. That was the first song I put up tonight for the pre-show music. We did Radigan, and then
nice.
Yeah, and then we did Skin Suits, and then we did The Great Experiment, which with Trudeau resigning, Trump announcing that we're basically taking over Canada, Greenland, and Mexico, I would say that's an end to the Great Experiment.
Yep.
So
God, ain't that the truth?
Kind of fits there. And yeah, we're just having a good time. Good. Charlie messaged Anna. She's gonna kick herself for missing Minx, but I'm sure she'll catch it later on the replay. Yeah. I've been again looking forward to this and looking forward to whenever the new one's coming out, and always jonesing for new Jesse stuff. And there's so much. Let me tell you guys, there's so much to remix and so much to go through. Whoa, I know that sound. Who are these people? But yeah, there's so much to go through. Oh my God! Wow, thank you, Sean. $50. Damn. Look at that.
Oh, Jesus.
Supporting independent media. That's what we love to see. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
Damn. Thank you, dude. Seriously.
Damn. But yeah, again, Clip Show every other Friday night. Now, what we did last week, instead of me assembling a clip show because I was too lazy to, I'm like, it's been about a year since Live from the Black Site was released, so let's go and rerun the premiere where we walk through all of the different songs. We did a full album release party, and Jesse didn't play, but you get to hear it and hear the explanations for why he wrote what he did, or how this came to be. And there's a lot of really cool stuff in those episodes. Next time, I think we're gonna end up doing the everyone who disagrees with you is an extremist release party. There are 5 songs on that album, which, thanks to Kit and Hardlands Media, are some of the most downloaded songs on Jesse's Bandcamp. And, to be able to go through it and have people who may not have heard the backstory behind certain songs get to hear that, like, as it was released 2 years later now, that's kind of friggin' cool. So that's what we're going to do next Friday. This Friday, we're going to do a replay of this show. and we'll do that at 10:30 Eastern on all the INN channels, and then next Friday we'll do the extremist listening party again, which is short. It's only like an hour and 11 or an hour and 12 because there's only 5 songs on it, but so good.
All right, this is as in tune as this is going to get.
Okay.
With the battery dead. But I wanted to do this in the tuning it's recorded in. Yeah, this is Cut the Lights.
Love, why wouldn't lie? Cry a little. War is on the rise, peace belittled. War is in their eyes, chlorine in the skies, and some still try to hide inside the middle. So love, why wouldn't lie? Just cry a little. Beside the river, could have split the sky. I sobbed so bitter. I told myself goodbye. Now, darling, who am I? I'm still surprised that I've not dried and withered. Now that time couldn't I have just cried a little? My mind, but I got the picture. Just set the script aside. It's all for scripture. The theater roars to life, and the screen leaves people blind. If nature cut the lights, God, I'd forgive her. So the night I lost my mind, was I delivered? Nothing civil. All the greatest lies were something simple. The story of our lives, we'll throw it to the tides. Just promise you won't try to divine the riddle. Just sit with me while I cry a little.
And that's Cut the Lights.
That's Cut the Lights. Awesome. Just awesome. Yeah, Charlie says this track made us bawl our fucking eyes out when we first heard it. Such a beautiful piece.
Me too.
Yeah, just cry a little. That's again a great story. Like both telling about how you did both for each verse and where you were on the trip, and I'll have to cut that out, and maybe we'll try to put that as some kind of an accompaniment somewhere.
Yeah.
That works.
All right, let's do a couple more spoken word pieces from it.
No, ads interrupted. Oh, get out. Rumble's really driving you crazy. They're trying to make everyone subscribe and pay $9.99 a month or $100 a year for that premium subscription.
Gross.
That's their new thing. Right, yeah. Greg's eyes are just sweating, not crying. That's right. He's dude, Greg, how close are you to the fires? There's wildfires in Santa Monica, Paradise. God, I'm looking at the videos and the pictures, and it's frightening as shit to see. I can't even imagine what it's like to live near there, and I know Greg's pretty close to that. So we're all kind of fingers crossed for for what's going on out there, and all those firefighters. Holy shit, they're putting it out there. While we're sitting here. Oh yes, I saw that. Ireland just officially joined South Africa's genocide case, and they were like pushing the ICJ to kind of kick it into gear. Like, what's going on? Why aren't you doing anything here? But yeah, yes, the internet did decide for 1 second to cut out at the very end, and I don't know what the hell happened there, but yeah, that's what happens when you do it live. Wow. So Greg said 15 miles away from the closest, and yeah, they're saying 100-mile-an-hour winds. That's not very far.
Jesus.
Mikhail saying that I think Jesse and the Canadian commie should do a collab. LOL, that would be cool. I don't know who the Canadian commie is, unless that's Snow Himbo. That's the only Canadian commie I know. Yeah.
All right.
ICJ is toothless. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I actually posted the link in the Telegram chat in Steve's AM Wake Up Telegram chat over to this stream on both YouTube and on Rumble. I think I even put the Twitter link if anyone is watching on Twitter. Go watch on Rumble or on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitter, the chat sucks. But I basically use Twitter as kind of a marketing thing, you know, like, hey, INN's live. Go watch them over on somewhere else where you can actually chat with people. And now we are streaming. Yeah, we got Discord. We're even sending all the chats to Discord to make sure they're backed up. But we're back on Odyssey. You know, I gave up on Odyssey for a long time. And with Rockfin going tits up the way that it has for us, Odyssey took away ads, and now Rumble is like insufferably showing ads before every video. The VODs are practically unwatchable because every time you move the slider around to watch a different part of the video, they show you another 2 ads. You go in to watch a live stream, they show you 2 ads. And like, they're awful ads. They're really bad. And the only way to get around them is to buy this premium thing. Now, somebody claims, I talked to someone last night, that he's got a way around that. I don't know. Well, I hope so. That would be very cool. And yeah, we're going to try to get more of the clips out to more places than just YouTube. You know, my worry there, especially on like INN news clips, there's really nowhere else that those clips exist outside of YouTube. So if they dinged our channel or they took it down, it's gone. Yeah. And you know, Reef works hard to cut those and edit them, and we want to make sure that they stay up. So I was talking to somebody last night. He runs a company that does that. It's a little on the pricey side for us. I'm going to talk to the people at INN, see what we can do about that. But it's worth it. I mean, it's well worth the amount of time and the peace of mind and the amount of time it would take to back that stuff up and to restore it if you do get taken down. The service is beyond worth it. It's just we don't really make enough yet as a network to really justify the cost in my mind. But it's a great service, and I would highly recommend checking it out. If you are a content creator, check out contentsafe.co, contentsafe.co. I spoke with this guy for like an hour and a half last night, Matt, who built this thing. He's a programmer, a tech guy, lives in the Philippines, American, just left and never came back. You know, and
damn.
Sharp dude, sharp as all hell. You can just tell immediately. Yeah. He's one of these get it guys, and love talking to him. I'm looking forward to speaking to him again in the future. But that was actually at Greg's recommendation, so thank you for the referral, Greg, on Matt.
I just dropped a piece in the folder.
Okay, I'm going to refresh.
This is the piece I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I wrote about a week before Christmas, and will be making its way onto this next album as well. It's a short spoken word piece.
Great. All right, I'm opening it now. Come on. It doesn't have a title on it, it looks like, which is fine.
Oh yeah. It's just the first line. If I don't put a title, so it should be they move in city groups.
Yep. Okay, I got it there. I think we're all set to go.
Okay. This really doesn't need a lot of. It's pretty self-explanatory. So. They move in city groups. They work in child cancers. They staff directors' boards. They stuff the dolls of chancellors. They thread the cords that lift them or make them scrape and bow, and then they simply snip them once all their use runs out. They smell the blood of martyrs. They feast on whistleblowers, mass graves of every garden, bunker buster, missile donors, shells all signed in silver Sharpie, peace and love from Gal Gadot. Keep on rockin', David Draymond. Brian Mast writes, bring them home. Perhaps that heartfelt shell that Brian signed could very well turn hostages they feigned to help to scattered flecks of bone. What better symbol of the type of aid we render than a hostage that's dismembered in a rescue carpet bombing, with shells all autographed by politicians and celebrities whose poison warps the way your brain perceives the word Islamic. Our relief is not sincere, and yet so far from comic. It's a crate that crushed your brother, filled with old expired condiments. Crates dropped in the water that you almost drown recovering. A slap upon your face from those who fund your constant smothering. You almost drown to reach them, and can salvage but a little. Then you open up the box, and you get sour fucking Skittles. There has never been a melting pot. It's just one giant griddle, where they cook the very fat from us, and don't stop when we're shriveled. They will desiccate the husks of us and desecrate the mosques. My God, they move in city groups. They augur flesh's cost. They weigh their profits worth against projected human loss, and the numbers never bothered them enough to give them pause, like 50,000 under rubble or 1,000,000 miles of gauze. But that's why you and I don't write the laws. That is currently untitled piece for the next record.
Or pick Obama's cabinet.
Yeah, right, no shit.
Right? You might even want to call
bio.
that. Right. No, you might want to even call that Obama's cabinet.
God, right?
They move in city groups. I mean, literally, his cabinet was appointed by Citigroup.
Yep.
So, was selected by them. So that would kind of work. Damn. That belongs on there for sure. I love how you do that through gritted teeth. It's so great when you do that.
It's hard not to, man. Like there's little veins popping out in my temple sometimes. All right, let's do McDraft. We've probably done that more than just about any other spoken word piece for this. Maybe the Win. We've probably done the Win more.
We did the Win twice. I think we did McDraft Is Back twice.
I love McDraft. I really do. This is the one I'm most excited, and I might open up with this one because it feels like the last record opened with Meat Speaker, and McDraft just feels like the meat speaker of this project.
Sure.
It feels like my meat speaker.
Is that like your Mona Lisa, like your meat speaker? Right. My McDraft Is Back for this album is the Mona Lisa for this album. Yes. I don't think you're allowed to have a Mona Lisa for multiple albums.
I don't think so.
I don't know how that works.
One can only dream. I guess it's good to have goals, but
damn. I did not share this into the DM chats on the Twitter, so I want to do that real quick because people will definitely see that there if they haven't yet. But yeah, McDraft Is Back. Set this one up a little bit for those who don't know about it. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but
and what's crazy is after I wrote this, because this was April, the end of April, that I wrote this piece, and a couple months after was when that Alabama McDonald's got caught using prison labor.
Right.
They'd had prisoners staffing their McDonald's. But I was talking to someone about seeing McDonald's lose sale. They had a really shitty quarter from forecast, and it was their first like loss in I don't know how long. And someone, I think it was at work, said like, can you imagine if they had to go under, or if like McDonald's closed and there wasn't McDonald's anymore? I was like, there was no way that America would let that happen, that our government would let that happen. Like, McDonald's closing would just be like so symbolic of the end of our empire, that I seriously believe that before they let that happen, before they accept that people won't work these shitty jobs for crap pay, they will say, well, they're essential. This is a vital part of keeping America fed and keeping them going. And they would mandate, however necessary, whether it's tied to unemployment or welfare, you have to come in and do a shift or whatever. I was like, they would find a way, even if it was by draft, to make sure that fast food joints stayed operational up until the very end, until they absolutely couldn't. So this piece came out of it, and I
just the concept. It's so real. And, look. First of all, we're all going to end up working for Amazon or Walmart or Apple or one of these $1 trillion companies at some point. All of us are going to end up basically indentured servants living in company towns. They're already talking about, that kind of crypto. We're going to be doing Doge business in Doge Town. That's going to be located somewhere in Canada because they're going to give Canada to Elon as a present for fun. We literally live in fucking clown world at this point. I
get this shit here.
Nice rolling fatties. That's a little pornographic there, sir. I don't know if I can chicka bow out of that.
This cat's face, I can't get over this cat's face. This fucking cat. My wife got me this for Christmas. If anyone needed proof of like how much my wife loves and understands me, like to my core.
He's adorbs. Yeah, well, Reef would like that one too. Reef would definitely love that. Look, every week on Boats, he finds all these cute cat videos and fat cat videos and hilarious cat videos. Some say Boats is the best show on the network. I disagree. I think this one is, but Boats is up there. Let me tell you something. We were rolling laughing Sunday night. He found a thing, and it's just some stupid Reddit video of some guy like, I'm gonna go troll these asshole golfers, and he sits outside a golf course, and every time they're in their backswing about to hit the tee off, he honks his horn. Mm-hmm. And they get so fucking mad. They all chase after him. He's got to drive away. They're running after him with clubs, dude. The tears are rolling down my cheeks by the end of this bit.
That's awesome.
Oh, so good. But yes, everyone check out. Now it's only on Rumble. Boat Smashing and Other Boats. We're moving it to the Ocho, and it's only available on Rumble because we've been worried about copyright stuff. I think we left it on the Ocho this week to see what happens. I'm just waiting for the takedown or for the hit or something that he shows. There's like, he shows 50 or 60 little clipped videos, and every week inevitably one of them gets hit for a copyright claim to say, oh, this belongs to so and so, and we're not going to monetize it, and we're going to pay them instead and run ads. Sometimes they just take the whole thing down. But I don't want to work for McDonald's. I don't want to get McDrafted.
Well, too fucking bad.
You'll
work for McDonald's.
It looks like it's coming, whether we like it or not. So this is what McDraft Is Back looks like.
This is McDraft. Yeah.
And we're all queued up and ready. Is everyone ready for the McDraft? Because we're all gonna get McDrafted last pick.
third string pick of the McDraft.
That's right. We've got to do some kind of tie-in to
Insult to injury, right?
That's right. What is that? The Mr. Irrelevant is the last player chosen in the NFL draft every year. They literally title him that.
That's awesome. All right, here we go. McDraft is back. In 2029, the fast food god was on the run because people couldn't make a living flipping bread-inspired buns, and they couldn't find the staff to open up a single one. So the no one wants to work crowd figured something must be done. Well, McDonald's had a lobbyist without a moral core, with a conscience so elastic it could cross the Senate floor, and all to pave the path to poverty or paint the art of war. And he from hell brought forth the bill that bound the working poor. And suddenly they handed down a shift like it was court. Your mandatory onboard day had locks on every door. This country runs on hunger, one for genocide and gore, and the other for preservatives galore. And they would rather chain our children to the flat top 6 to 4 than ever dream to cut the profits cord. Now, the schools would call your parents if you skipped on half a day, but if you had to work a double, they'd just send you on your way. You were keeping the economy alive, if not maintained, something palliative in practice and essential just in name. You were helping prop up normalcy as long as it could rain. You would mop up its colostomy and dump it down the drain. You would walk it to the window, let it see the world it made, and hear that little choking when the functions finally fade. The food you used to like could never truly taste the same once a couple tours of duty burned you out on open flame. But now it's what's for dinner. No one really has a say. We work and eat and die until the arches rust away. And we painted on the sign an extra line so it would say, billions served and none were saved. Now, as I recall, some didn't mind the hours or the burns. Some didn't mind the housing or to never hear the birds. Some learned to say, I'm loving it, and truly mean the words. But that wasn't what the boss preferred. No, they lived to see you broken, watch you fight commands to speak until bloodied, choking, finally you forced it through your teeth. Then they'd crack the slowest smile, lean away from you, and breathe. But never would they lift their knee. One night I used my blood to change the sign in District 3, so it said billions served and none were free. But once we praised those arches like the holiest of grails. We ate of its communion until fatted for the sale. In its temple treads no union, human rights a bloodless pale. Human life is something stale, humankind its charges failed. But you and I, who worked the line, have peered behind the corporate veil. That corporate colossus hailed, too big to feel, much less to fail. Too big to fit in any jail. Too big to help but eat its tail. A spiral of McEntropy that trails a new McMonorail that runs from your McQuarters out beyond the second ward, past the new McMedi Center, past the new McMorgue, and under the resorts where all the beds are warm and soft, where if you save enough McCredits, you could spend an hour off. A world beyond your cot, beyond the slop in your McTrough, where music drowns the rattle when you cough. Our lives aren't really lost, so much as helplessly aloft, suspended till our usefulness has ended and we're dropped. Beyond the farthest outpost, beyond that final fence, as far as we've been told that our perimeter extends, as though there's nothing out there, just our families and friends, who, when your work is done, you'll see again. But they could never truly understand you, try as though they might. Why, you grimace at the smell and have to choke down every bite. There's a summertime McFlurry that they just can't wait to try, and you watch them flock like moths around that godless golden sign, where you can still read faintly, if you really squint your eyes, billions served and none survived. Now we thought we'd see McDonald's close in 2029. If you couldn't earn a living there, when who would give their time? But they made us legal slaves before they let their profits die. The billions will be served. You and I will serve the time. And that is McDraft Is Back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's back, but it back from where?
It's servitude.
Nice. Servitude is, we're not ready for that. Greg says I can't wait to meet y'all in the labor camps. Yeah. In Greenland, that's correct. That's where we're all gonna end up shipped up, because that's where the electricity is all gonna come from, apparently. They're gonna just use that entire thing for a big electricity and crypto farm. Sure. God. There you go. Haha. That's awesome. Burger and fries. Nice. Haha. It is frightening. We are gonna have to probably all do our mandatory shifts, and whether it is McDonald's or Walmart. Walmart's got plenty of profits and money, but Starbucks certainly, the way they've been BDS'd into submission here, I could see, everyone having to take a mandatory shift at Starbucks, or the way Bezos, look, I saw another Washington Post person. I'm like, oh boy, here it comes. Washington Post person quit on Friday, 40,000 Substack subscribers on Monday. Like,
the fuck? God.
I don't know. I don't know, man. McDraft Is Back. I'm not looking forward to, well, I am looking forward to McDonald's going out of business, but being bailed out by the U.S. government. And that Trump would totally fucking do that too. Like, as my last act before I go, I will make sure that the Big Macs will last forever and ever and ever. Right? January 2029, he's out. So that kind of works. 2029, putting that year down. And remember, he wrote this before Trump became president or got elected. So
This is true.
just yet another crystal ball in front of my homie over here. That was one of the original concepts for tonight's thing.
That's true. Yep.
Crystal
ball with a little mushroom cloud in it.
Right? Was a World War III crystal ball. But it's, again,
I have one of those. It's called Twitter.
Seriously, it's called Israel. And the Greater Israel Project.
Oh.
And now the North American Union. Woohoo! Let's go, folks. Oh my God. We are, as Misty loves to say,
We're fucked. It's true.
It is true. She was on Hard Lens yesterday. If you didn't catch that. Also earlier today, TLAV Tuesday over on AM Wake Up. We now run AM Wake Up on the INN Twitter channel. So he does not have the ability, that he doesn't want to pay for a blue check. We have one, so we want to make sure that the Independent Review and AM Wake Up both get seen over there, and at least give them the opportunity for people that are there to be like, oh yeah, that's live too. Let's go check that out and chat, and then go over to Rumble where there's 150 people watching, and there's like 6 people watching on Twitter. So it literally just tells people to go over to Rumble. That's what it's designed for. And I think it works okay, and Steve appreciates it, and we're all kind of kumbaya right now. Everyone's on the same page when it comes to who we're fighting, and that we are in PSYOP season, and that there's so many being thrown at us, and from Alex Jones and the craziness was that an AI Alex Jones? Yeah. A lot of people are saying that they think that he's either been captured and taken over by AI. Like it's just every day you see something, the stuff that happened on New Year's Day with those guys from Fort Bragg. Luigi, they don't want to talk about Luigi. when are they having the next trial or the next step in his process? Like, he's just sitting and rotting in jail right now while people are making Luigi memes. But still they haven't presented evidence that they think he actually did something.
Mm-hmm.
When, how, I don't know. I sit here and wonder how the hell this is all happening and who's running shit. Because it seems that nobody is.
Yeah.
So, you got a couple of things still sitting here. I see How to Boycott History. I see The Win. I got Prayer for the Promised Land.
Oof.
And I Didn't Want to Let It Change Me. I see all of those. And all those are powerful as shit, by the way, for those who don't know.
A couple of those we've only done once.
Yep. Yep.
Fuck it. Let's do I Didn't Want to Let It Change Me and just not give any context.
I don't think it needs any, honestly. It's pretty friggin' self-explanatory, but let me center that. And
this was a piece about one of a reaction of mine to a major turning point in what people love to call the Israel-Hamas war.
Hamas.
Yep. This is, when Hezbollah came in with the folding chair.
Yeah, before they got taken out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're up.
All right. Yeah, this is called I Didn't Want to Let It Change Me. I didn't want to let it change me, and yet it changed me all the same. I never thought I'd feel relief or finally feel some sense of peace to see the sky alive with flames. But as I heard that panicked screaming, I was smiling, I was beaming, tears were streaming down my face. It finally felt like I was sane. For a moment, I was not unraveled, clawing at my brain. I was overblown with hope. I freebased faith and overdosed. I watched an oil rig explode, and it was sunshine for my soul. And for a second, I was whole, for there was justice, bright and bold. After so long in the darkness, growing rigid in the cold. So I was captive in the flashes, just enraptured in the glow. I felt something in me I was sure had withered long ago. From a bitterness I could not help but grow. It was a feeling that I never thought we'd know. I didn't want to hear the rabble, but they kept babbling all the same, pouring pity on their Babylon that reaped a crop of rubble from entire family names. And suddenly they've learned such pointed phrases, ones that they had never found before. Things like unprovoked and bombing, densely populated, or savage act of war. Suddenly explosions aren't some rumor they report, something seen on the horizon, purely nebulous in form. It is terror in a looming storm that comes for you and yours, but all those lights reflect back 80 years of your remorse. It is Zionist compassion come to roost on Zion's shores. Karma come to occupy the occupying force. And when all the superpowers in the world would just stand by, pledge support for genocide, and then avert their eyes, it is left to those we've demonized to finally do what's right. But if they're the good guys, what are you and I? Are we sufferers of conscience, as the only ones who weep? As the only ones left nauseous by what lulled the rest to sleep? Our complicity's a river, and it's flowing past our knees, and its floods will strip our cities bare and wash them out to sea. And those who search the wreckage for whoever they can save, or any flecks of memory that hadn't washed away, will realize we're our own relief. We are our only aid, as Palestine and Lebanon were left to learn the same. I didn't want to let it change me, but I'd been changing every day. I didn't catch it till I peered into the mirror, and the man I used to recognize had started going gray. A man who nonetheless reminded me of someone so much younger who is not alive today. A little boy who, when I think of him, I think of every little boy that Israel has slain.
Could that boy ever understand the smile on my face? That I saw those little specks of light against the void of space, and a flash of hope lit up the night that left the brightest trace. Would he be proud to learn how we had changed? Or would he be scared to know it feels so dangerous to write this, to wish an end to genocide and know what it might cost? How selfish, then, to say I didn't want to let it change me. Neither did the thousands that we lost. How could I not be moved to hammer through this whole facade? How could you see those lights and not see God? And that is, I didn't want to let it change me.
It's a brilliant, powerful hammer to smash that facade.
We need that on the soundboard.
Yeah, I do.
Shout out to Polyrical.
I do need to. Well, I mean, you threw the line in there, so how am I not supposed to to bring it to? But yeah, Greg saying, is that a pager in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? That, hey now, bro. Yeah, now you made him cry. See what you did, Jesse? You made him cry. No, I'm crying. No, I'm not crying. You're crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. Yep. That's I didn't want to.
They
let
would
it
actually
change
target
him.
my vape pen. The flavor is called Habibi.
Oh my goodness. We're going to hell, folks.
Oh, we're already in hell.
Oh, that's right. No, wasn't that the premise of the movie Lost? Like, we're already in hell?
Right, pretty much.
Like, we're all basically just kind of going through the motions, but it already happened and nobody told us.
That's a cool
Percussion.
This
All
is my
right,
coffee cup.
so that flesh
All right,
vessel, is that another flesh vessel, or is that a green vessel?
Oh no, that's just my little.
Oh, your Yeti. Oh, Yeti! We got a Yeti.
It's a little Yeti.
Shout out to our little Yeti INN Yeti.
Courtesy of the good folks at Lakeland Pallets.
Dude, that is not a shitty gift, I'll tell you.
No,
like,
I know for sure. No, Lakeland, they're good folks.
Like there's a way to skip out on those kind of holiday gifts, and anyone that gives that Yeti level stuff, good company.
It's true. Okay, I think I'm about tapped out. I think that about does. I got to get up at the crack of dawn, and
All good.
I didn't want to let it change me. It's like, where do I go after that, other than to bed? You know?
Well, the only one would be the win, but that's like you just want to drain yourself completely and just.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. All right. You sold me. God damn it. Yep. I need the Rick and Morty meme. You son of a bitch. I'm in.
God damn it. Well,
let's do it. All right.
yeah.
So for those who don't know, I was excruciatingly skeptical of Julian Assange's release. I kept waiting for this other shoe to drop.
We still are.
And yeah, and still, there's just something that I guess in the age of AI, I have a hair trigger uncanny valley. I'm looking for any little something, and that especially. I was watching the clip of him walking to the plane and looking for anything. I'm like, they've got to be fucking with us. They've got to be tricking with us, and that's what made me realize, like, at that point, they've already struck a blow to me, because this could be the most legitimate thing in the world, and I'm going to scrutinize it until I'm nuts, until I'm absolutely batshit, and that's what I did. And it was a very alienating first night, especially because people were going live to talk about it, and it was like a celebration that I didn't feel right participating in. I was waiting for this to activate and, like, Christmas spirit, turn on, it's the holidays, and it wasn't happening. And it reminded me as a diehard MASH fan of the ceasefire episode, when they announced there's going to be a ceasefire, and Trapper's like, fuck you, no there's not, and he's just grousing and drinking gin in his tent while everyone parades around and does all the shit, and then sure as shit they're like, oh yeah, never mind, no ceasefire.
wounded are coming back, war is back on. And, you know, he gets no victory in the I told you so, but he knew there's no way we're getting off this easy. And it wasn't until I saw he and Stella hug that, like, you know, he toughed it out for a fucking long time, making one of the bravest stands for free speech that's ever been, you know, and for journalism to be what it's supposed to be. And there's absolutely no no fault to be had in taking the slap that you need to take to see your family and to hold your kids again. The fact that he held out as long as he did is incredible. It was still hard not to think about the precedent set by saying that was not journalism, that was, or that journalism is in that form criminal. That's such a dangerous door that's open, but it also, I think at the end of the day, was one that was going to be open one way or another, whether it was through that or more aggressive means. That's kind of what's for dinner. And then I found myself looking at, like, what did I think was going to happen? What did I really expect with everything I know? Did I think that, like, the government was going to be like, all right, no, you got us, we fucked up, we'll see ourselves to The Hague? So then I felt a little foolish. There was a lot. There was an awful lot of emotions in a very short amount of time, and it wasn't until I saw he and Stella that I actually, like, was able to even formulate my thoughts, and it was in this piece. Let's not step on the keys. Okay.
That's Catstro for everyone that doesn't know. Hi,
Brody.
Catstro.
Sorry, that's
that's Brody. Oh, we got another cat, another animal. Nice. All right, we're all ready here.
Catstro would take up the whole screen. You couldn't see me.
That's true. Yeah, that's a black cat. That's a black cat. And Catstro would definitely give us a little booty show too on top of it.
Yeah, Brody's got some modesty still.
Nice.
All right, so
yeah,
this is the piece that came from that. This is the win. All we get before we go. We almost never cop a W. The fourth estate is subterfuge. Like, what the fuck's a win? So when we got our taste of paradise, joy was in the air, and I just could not let it in. I was Trapper John McIntyre, shrugging off the ceasefire, sulking in my gin. Sitting, waiting for the rapid fire, peace talks on the tapping wire lost into the wind. Now journalism's greatest sin is putting truth to print. Camp on full parade like happy days are here again, and I was watching from my tent, knowing this is not the end. With thoughts that dwell on freedoms that our laws do not defend. Who have lost their closest cellmate, only confidant and friend. He is leaving on a jet plane, and they might not meet again. He is off to plead his guilt for thinking we might take a stand. The crime to have assumed the best of man. Now, I'm not VP Harris, so I needn't try pretend that I can see this world unburdened by the truth of what has been, that I don't see a future where they've cashed in our consent, where you could land in Belmarsh for possession of a pen. The leads are buried deep beneath the tongues that spoke dissent, and Jesus, you will not forget the scent. But if I so know our ruling class, then what did I expect? How did this play out within the confines of my head? Did I expect the Davos gang to tearfully repent? Did I expect the CIA to graciously relent? To bow out like, you got us, guess we'll just be on our way, then clean out all their desks and march themselves down to The Hague? Did deep down, somehow, I still think some rules-based law pervades, in spite of all this evidence that overwhelms my brain? They do not need a precedent to bury us in chains, like they do not need a president to carry out their aims. That corpse up on the stage is our commander just in name, and the ones who pull his strings are running out of things to say.
His very touch has desiccated fundamental change, while the donors pick the profits off the bones of Boeing's planes. I've no way of knowing who will place us in our grave, but I know who fronts the cost, and I know who bears the blame, and I know who picks the picture our memorial displays, and I know who quotes the scripture as the mosques go up in flames, and I know who plays the victim as their bulldozing remains. I know who owns our votes, and either way, it's all the same. Then we got a taste of victory. But I just tasted doubt. Like I popped too many red pills, now I'm foaming at the mouth. Now I'm combing through the videos to satisfy myself as though anything I'd find could ever help. I'm a stranger in my skin when there's a victory on the breeze. My nerves are pulled so thin I barely touch, much less perceive. But everyone I know is feeling genuine relief. And God, I wish so much that could be me. But deformed by my suspicions, I can't lift my head to hope. I am waiting for the other shoe to drop down on our throats. It is very much a win to see him finally going home. But perhaps the bigger win is not our own. Perhaps we won a battle, but the war is set in stone, buried under Gaza's beaches, refugees and bones. Perhaps we never stood a chance. Our speech is bought and sold. Perhaps they target journalists to stop our history cold. And every anchor drags you down to share what they've been told, the basic facts you need to know to keep you in the fold. Shaped by those intent to not see Gazans growing old as the Nazi referendum takes its hold. Suppose one day those anchors cannot find the will to speak. They cannot muster up the gloss to brighten so much bleak. Suppose they reach a point where they can't act like nothing's wrong just to find their voice was silent all along. Perhaps we'll reach a point where we're surviving off of leaks, where even something whispered beckons welcome of a breach. We'll finally get the picture and we'll understand our needs, but find that we lack access to free speech. For now, I feel no sudden flash of hope grab hold of me, and I don't feel any safer than I did this time last week. But when I saw them finally free to touch each other's cheek, I think I felt a win, and I will learn to let it be. Perhaps the little victories are the only ones we'll know. Perhaps there is no greater win than finally being home, than holding close a loved one who you lost so long ago. Suppose that's all we get before we go. And that is the win.
Damn, you got me, damn it. I don't know how you do it. Damn it.
Got myself.
Yeah, well, you make it through. Wow. Yeah. That, you know, that just brings back that whole few days, that whirlwind of, and even now, look, over Christmas, they gave us this tiny little additional snippet. You know, look, what's it been, like 5 still photos and that 1 hour of answering questions. 6 still for every month or so, every holiday they'll come up with him. And this time he's holding like a little lamb, it looked like, at Christmas. And then they released a little video of him, but he doesn't say anything. All you hear is just kind of breeze in the background. It's like, I
know.
I guess that's all we get before we go.
And that's what, you know, when he gave the speech, the presentation, a while back, I'm like, there we go. Here we are, you know, which makes me feel like there's got to be some stipulation that he is not allowed to make his own content, as it were, for lack of a better term, you know, because it certainly seems like a conscious effort to not have him directly communicating openly. But the fact that he is doing anything is, you know.
I mean, he was clearly lucid enough by the questions that he answered,
sure.
And sharp still of mind, you could tell.
Yeah.
That But the way he answered a couple of the questions a little tepidly, you know, he's still worried about what could happen to him if he says the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And that is,
it says a
that's
lot.
still weird to see from the guy who was like the most fearless speaker that I can ever remember. Just, he didn't give a fuck. And, you know, they break you, and that's what they did to him there. And again, in order to get out, you know, they say that there were no conditions. It doesn't have to be on a piece of paper for them to have said it and him to have believed it. And that's the way I genuinely feel about it. That there were orders given, and there was a, you know, kind of an edict. Look, we're letting you out when we don't have to do this, and we would never have to. So therefore, you're gonna be a good boy, and that sucks. It does. It sucks.
Yeah.
But at least he gets to see the sun, because he, you know, it was going to be the same way either way. It's just now.
Exactly.
Now they get to put on a charade.
Yep.
And he gets to be, quote unquote, free. So free Assange, or pardon Assange. Still, you know, we can still do that. Yeah. Free McBride. We still have David McBride. We still have Leonard Peltier, who is still in jail, amazingly enough.
Fucking insane.
His health is really starting to fail, and there's been a lot of petitions for Biden to do it before he leaves. I don't think it's going to happen. But free all the political prisoners. This is bullshit, you know. And
he didn't do something like embezzle money from a children's cancer charity, so Biden won't pardon him.
Right?
You gotta do some really sick shit to get a Biden pardon.
Or do insider trading and cash in $80 million for your health insurance stock before you're about to announce an investigation and a breach. So for the rest of this week, we've got INN News tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thursday night, we'll have Snow Himbo streams. Friday, we'll have Angel in the afternoon. And then we'll replay this show Friday night at 10:30 Eastern. Saturday, over on the Ocho, you'll have Angel. We'll have a pro wrestling talk. And then Sunday, we'll be back with How Do We Miss That? And Boats, which will also be on the Ocho. So, and then Monday, the Maple Files. They talked yesterday about Trudeau resigning and Pierre Poilievre, who looks like he's going to be the new prime minister from the Conservative Party. And he did an interview with Jordan Peterson, so they broke that down, Himbo and Yeti. Yeti was actually in the little house, or, you know, the whatever structure they built. Like, he literally built this damn thing with his bare hands. It's amazing. Awesome. Give a big shout out and love to Yeti Jesus. Love that guy. He and Shauna have, you know, they bought a piece of land in Nova Scotia and decided to build off the land and buy the materials and build a little house. And they were living in a yurt for months, and now they just finished putting the walls up on their house, and the windows are in, and it's sealed, and they're able to sleep in the house now. It's all happened in like 6 months. It's amazing to see all of the transformation of this thing on Facebook. The time that he was like, you know, laying footings and getting advice on how to put footings down, and here's your floor, and now one wall is up, and now the whole thing's up, and they're insulating it, and they got it's amazing stuff. God, I love the guy. It's so cool. So definitely check him out on the Maple Files with Himbo. Himbo, I think Miss Witchy Perfect is supposed to join him Thursday night as a guest co-host, and we're doing things over here at INN. Of course, again, check out I Am Wake Up in the Mornings over on Twitters. We're co-streaming it, and then he'll be over on Rumble, Rockfin, Odyssey, BitChute. That's where all the chat is. I'm usually hanging out in his Rumble chat, so that's 10 a.m. Eastern, and he goes till about 1, maybe a little later. Maybe next time Jesse's able to get a day off, he can pop in there too. I know Steve said he's basically got an open invite, so I'm pretty spent too. So anything else you want to promote? You want to? All right, man.
I don't think so. We'll be back in 2 weeks, which will land us one day after
inauguration,
the inauguration anniversary. So we'll do an inauguration retrospective, songs from it, etc. Yeah,
and that'll be a cool album.
How is that 4 years?
But wait a minute. Also,
that record 4 years old.
Extremist came out. What was that? Christmas Day 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. That was a Christmas.
So we just had a 2-year anniversary for that. Again, so this Friday night you'll get this show, and then next Friday night you'll get the listening party.
Was Black Site was January
16th. It was Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, Martin Luther King Day. Yep. Hi, Stro.
Oh, there he is. What's up, Stro? And,
I say Brody doesn't come and talk in Stro. You hear before you see him.
Nice. All right, everyone. Yeah.
All right, fam.
Subscribe.
Love you guys.
Do all the things. Love you. Have a great night, and we'll be back in a couple weeks. Later on, everyone.
Who are these people?
Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. Why play civil if you won't listen to 50,000 dead? And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. No, why play civil when all these dead won't make you listen? What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? God, I thought we were founded on a ball.
Who are these people?